Oh, my phone's just told me we're live.
You are?
My phone has just told me that we're live.
Uh,
Well, I guess we better start. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Out of Nowhere podcast, episode 53, the Clash of Champions pay-per-view recap show. I'm your host, Michael, once again, joined by Stephen and Chelsea. Good evening, peeps.
Good
Hey,
evening, Michael.
How are we feeling today?
not bad, thank you.
All good. All good.
For one of the first times, if not the first time, we actually have not discussed this at all before the show, so we could completely disagree with some of the things, or we could all totally agree, and this might be super boring. But let's jump into it. Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox in the pre-show. Nobody watched it. Nobody cares. Nia Jax beat Alicia Fox and beat her comfortably. Excellent. Great. Good work, Nia. Well done. Right, let's get to the main show because that's all we care about. New Day versus Luke Gallows versus Carlinson, and just to recap what we said on the previous episode, what was your predictions for the match going into it?
The club.
Club.
The club. Okay, I think we all said the club. Did I say the club? I think I did actually.
We all said
Yeah,
the club.
we did.
We were all
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, we were all wrong. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I actually thought this was one of the most physical matches I've seen the club in. Like how it started when Gallows just came out and just took out Big E with a boot, and then took out Xavier Woods with the boot, and then the trombone. I thought this was going to be like a 2-minute match.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought, especially after what we'd been saying last week, where I'd said to you guys had missold me the club, or of the Bullet Club as they were. The way that they started, I thought they're actually going to put them over here, like as a proper destroy job on the New Day, and give them the titles in like really, a really strong fashion, and they were going to go from there. I thought I thought the whole match, like from both sides, it continued to be really, really strong. But I must admit, from the way that it started, I did think they were going to give it to the. I did think the club were going to get it, and we were going to see that bit of a turn from them of going back to what they were kind of originally billed as. But obviously, we didn't get the victory. That they didn't get the victory, but hopefully they can carry on in that form and reduce the humour and go down the route of being the physical heels that they probably should be.
Yeah, I certainly hope so because I mean, I'm all for comedy in WWE. As we said, they don't get it right very often, as we've seen through the club's comedy skits, some of them don't always hit the mark. The New Day's fine. We don't need any more tag team humor. Chelsea, the end result was the New Day are still your champions and will reign for 400 days. Are you bothered by that? Did you want the belts to change?
Yeah, I really wanted the belts to change. Like Steve was saying, like he feels like we missold them on Bullet Club, and I really think that, like the way you just said, like pushing them the way they came out at the start of the match. If they'd have done that and won, that would have been great. But I also kind of feel like the New Day need to lose the belts. Like I mean, I love the New Day, I love what they do, but I just find that I was watching a What Culture thing before, and they said you can literally play like New Day bingo now. Like they say the same things every time they come out. They just do it in a different order, and I'm not growing tired of it. Like I still like the New Day, but I think they need to lose the belt, step back, and then have a new purpose sort of thing, like chasing back after them, or just something like that. I really feel like they need to switch things up.
I do agree with that, but I do think as well that the way that the way that it ended and the way that it was good to see that it wasn't the same. It was kind of like the original way New Day were finishing matches. With that that heelishness of using the trombone and to get the victory. Like I completely agree with you that it's starting to grow a little bit to me, it's starting to grow a little bit stale in terms of what they're saying and how they're saying it and stuff. And it's very much the same thing. But if they can start getting back into the fact, get into that little bit of heelishness into the way that they are to keep the titles and stuff, I'd be more than willing to be happy to see them keep them a little bit longer, if they're going to do that. But like I say, it's whether they do that or not, I'm not right sure at this stage.
I throughout this reign, I've always had the feeling that sense, and a lot of other WWE things, to be honest, that they just love setting records or breaking records in this modern era. Did this after they got they beat the longest reigning tag team champions from Kendrick and London? Did you feel that this was a let's let them get to 400 days, At least let them get to 400, and then they'll be okay. And then it'll be let's get them get to 450, and then it'll be let's get them to 500. Where does it end?
Yeah, like I originally thought, like with a lot of records that are broken, they lose it pretty soon after. So that was one of the reasons I was convinced they were going to lose at SummerSlam. But yeah, like you say, it's just how far are they going to go with them now? So you say it's 400 days. Why not make it 500?
No, you asked a good question there, but I want to put that on the other side, Stephen. Where are they going to go with the club? Because they've not got themselves much victories under their belt whilst being in WWE, to be honest.
No, I think, like I was just saying there, I'd like to see them carry on with how they kind of started this. I mean, it is a bit, for me, it's a bit of a shit decision for them not to get the titles out of this pay-per-view. I think that would have been the right thing to do in terms of the titles. But if the club can carry on with the kind of attitude that they showed at the beginning of this, and kind of come out of this saying, we're sick of, we're done, we're just going to let, as fists do the talking, so to speak, and tear a path through the division again. I'll be quite happy with that. I think it might be a little bit, even though they've only been in the WWE for a short time, they've almost got to the point where they're going to have to remodel a little bit based on what they've been doing in this feud with the New Day, and hopefully, like I say, get back to what you guys have seen or seen previously, and which is clearly the best stuff, because in that 5 or 10 minutes at the beginning of that match where they were just completely dominant, there was so much better. They showed so much more in that than they have done in the entire feud, for me anyway.
Yeah. I don't think this feud's over by any means. The match ended with Xavier Woods hitting Anderson with the trombone, and then Big E and Kingston doing the big ending double team DDT thing from the corner. Do they actually have a name for that? But
they did have one, didn't they? But I can't remember it off the top of my head.
They hit that for the win, but with Xavier Woods getting involved with the trombone, maybe we're going to see this one more time. I think that's most likely.
I think. Did you get the impression that was kind of the motto of this entire pay-per-view? It'll be one more time.
Yeah, we'll get to that very shortly. After this next match, the next match was TJ Perkins making his debut on the main roster versus Brian Kendrick for the Cruiserweight title. And first of all, let's get it out there. I mean, props to TJ Perkins' entrance.
Yeah, man.
Retro video game music, big, bright, arcade-style lights. It was just, it's unique.
I was going to message the group last night and just say something about it, but I was it was very obvious that I was probably the only one watching it at that time, and so I didn't want to spoil it whatsoever. I just waited, and I was going to say something this morning, and I thought I'd wait for somebody to say something. I thought it were brilliant, and it just carries on that the form that they've shown recently with the ring entrances. They've just been absolutely top quality. 90% of the new guys from NXT and the CWC guys, they're really pushing the greatness of the entrances at the moment.
Chelsea, you about to say something?
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was very like Scott Pilgrim sort of thing, and it was absolutely brilliant. He's so colourful. Like his ring gear is amazing.
I'm not sure if I like the red part of his ring gear. It's very baggy. Like, I don't know. I'm just criticising his clothes now,
To
and
be
I feel
fair,
like a bit like a.
I was watching it and I thought to myself, like, his calves look absolutely tiny.
Yeah,
Oh, there will be most of the calves are tiny, aren't they?
unless you're Bubba Ray Dudley or Big E,
Yeah.
who have the biggest calves in the world. But Perkins, in his debut and his first defence of the title, did come out with a victory, but it was not all one-sided. I thought Kendrick put up a great show. I don't think this matched anywhere near what we saw in the CWC. What do you guys think, Chelsea?
No, I definitely think they were put very limited. I mean, the crowd, like, they weren't flat, but I think there was nothing for them to really get excited about. Like, don't get me wrong, it was really good wrestling, but I think we were expecting more
Holy
flips.
shit moments.
Yeah, and I think what we were saying the past couple of weeks, actually, like, that they're on a pay-per-view and they've got to not overshine the rest of the card sort of thing. So I definitely think there was sort of a, you can do this, but you can't really do this sort of thing. But the match was great. I just think it was very tame compared to like what it could have been in the CWC sort of thing.
I think I agree with that to some respect, but the styles play the matches out, don't they? I don't think Brian Kendrick's style really lends to a holy shit kind of match.
No, it definitely don't. No, I think that's definitely played into it. You know, if we saw Perkins against Grand Metalik, for example, you know,
Sure,
I think we would have seen something very similar to what we saw at Clash of Champions in the CWC finale. Like you say, you've kind of got that. You know, Brian Kendrick's kind of just got that sort of more of a thug-like mentality in it of wrestling. It's kind of straight at them, and you know, whereas like you say with TJP, it's that quickness, and the styles definitely don't lend in that way. But I think it wasn't as good as what we've seen so far. But I don't think it was anything to do with them saying, you know, we need to kind of reduce, you know, we don't want to show everything, or we can't do this and we can't do that. I do think it's just a case of you know, maybe on this occasion the styles clashed a little bit.
I think the other thing that made it not as exciting for me is I really wish that like Daniel Bryan and Ronaldo were still calling these matches.
That's a good point. Definitely.
Like, I was watching it and obviously like the commentators were doing what they usually do. They just talk shit while the match is on, whereas when you had Ronaldo and Bryan, like they get excited and they call all the moves, and it really misses that. I think I got so used to watching that with the CWC that now I see these matches without them calling it. It's just like, I don't want this commentary team for these matches.
Yeah, it's not the same with Corey Graves shouting. Well, he don't even shout it, just saying "Tope Suicida." You know, it's not Morello going "Tope Suicida." It's like absolutely mental. So, quick spot quiz. TJ, what does it stand for? Guesses?
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, good guess.
I don't know.
I mean, he's just guessed Thomas Jefferson, so I don't think you can go worse.
No, I can't top that, to be honest.
No, you're not even going to make a guess. That means Stephen would win by default.
Okay. Ted. Ted Jr.
Ted Jr. Perkins. Well, I'm going to have to give this one to Chelsea.
Oh, piss off. What a load of bollocks.
Whose name is Teddy James.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm going to have to give it to Chelsea with Ted. Anyway, great match.
I like Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, I would have preferred it if that was the case, coming from a Filipino family. Perkins did return via the submission. I think it's really good. The cruiserweights have given this more energetic style of wrestling back into WWE, but also have put more. At the same time as they're doing that, they've put more ground wrestling into it. And you've seen that with all the extra submissions that we've seen. I think if you go through the CWC, a lot, if not most of the decisions were by submission. And I think Perkins' knee bar, when he does the figure four knee bar, basically, it's a great move. I'm really into the submissions at the moment. And I'd probably put it down to the CWC. Because let's be honest, John Cena's STF is nothing. It doesn't look like unless Chris Jericho does the Lion Tamer, the Wars of Jericho, he's just a Boston Crab. And then what do we have? The Cloverleaf from Sheamus. That's about it. Bring on the cruiserweights more.
Hey, the bank statement is a great submission.
The bank statement is only ever done properly one in about 20 times. When she tries to put it in from the lung blower into the bank statement, it always seems to just fuck up. So yeah, if you're into that, I guess. There's loads of submissions now. I think about it. The figure eight, which I'm not fond of.
The Walls of Jericho.
I just said the wall. Did you not listen?
No.
I said the Walls of Jericho is just a Boston Crab unless he puts him into the Lion Tamer.
Well, I heard the Lion Tamer bit.
Thanks for listening, Chelsea. There's only three of us here, but there's only actually two of us listening. Let's move on. We had Cesaro in a white suit backstage saying he's going to be the most physically dominant, and it turned out to be the case that it was both of them. What a physically demanding match, a series these guys have had. But I said this was going to culminate into, I thought, one of the matches of the night, and it was certainly an excellent match. Both just absolutely went at it. It was very brutal. It was very physical. And it ended in a draw. What the fuck? This is the best of 7 series. They should be a winner. But no. It's a draw.
I know you said before, like, oh, you didn't like the ending, and I'm not pissed off that it ended in a no contest. I think the only thing I'm annoyed about is the fact that the no contest came from a clothesline over a barricade.
Give me a good reason for it to be called off. Like they both got thrown off of the top of the Titantron.
Yeah.
That's a reason to not be able to get up. Being clotheslined over the barricade into the fans, not so much.
But that was the only thing that really annoyed me, to be honest. But can we also just mention Cesaro and that horrible fall he had? I don't know whether he went to like a suicide dive or something, but I was literally scared for him.
Come on, call it correct.
Like but no, like that was absolutely horrible, and like it literally looked like he'd been paralyzed or something afterwards. Like
it was just ridiculous.
But it was horrible.
Like I turned it on this morning and watched. I watched this match first because I'd caught a bit when I was waking up during the night, and this was the first match I put on, and I was just waking up and I was just watching this bit, and then that bit happened, and I literally just the first words of the day were "Holy shit!" They were the first words that came out of my mouth this morning, because that was. I mean, he looked like he could have killed himself. He did fall. He fall more on his shoulder when you look at it from the reverse angle, but the angle that we had at first glance, it looked like he just landed straight on the crop of his chrome dome. And man, we've seen this a lot lately. People just falling really badly when doing these dives. Hopefully, they don't put an end to it. But man, they've got to be making a way to protect themselves while they're doing it. Surely, I mean, Big E, when he does his big spear, 9 times out of 10, he's always on the worst end.
Yeah, I think it's all part. It's that thing that they're all kind of trying to push the boundaries out of it at the moment, of trying to make it, look a certain way, and I think they are getting very much on the edge of being quite dangerous. And I suppose we've already seen serious injuries based on some of the things, but some of these ones are where the landing on the, like you say, the landing on the top of their head, or I mean, you look at Austin's when he broke his neck. That was off of a landing straight on the top of his head, kind of thing. Very, it's the kind of pushing the boundary, trying to push the boundaries again, but they do seem to be a little bit reckless at the moment.
Taking away nothing from the match, though, this actually got a "This is awesome" chant, and it was awesome. It was an excellent match. Stephen, how would you have preferred it to end, though? I mean, you could have had it in a draw, I guess, but who did you want to win?
It's funny because I think by this point I didn't actually particularly have like somebody in mind to win it. So it's,
like I thought Sheamus was going to get the win.
If I was to say that I wanted anybody, it probably would be Sheamus, and the only reason for that is, I mean, as we've said pretty much after every match so far, I've just been so impressed with how much he's got his kind of mojo back over this series. Like I think it's definitely been, although we kind of we took the piss out of it when it first came up of like a best of 7, it's definitely been the thing that Sheamus has needed, because he's brought, Cesaro's brought that aggression out of him, and he's looking very much like how he used to when he was when he was one of the top heels at the time. So from that, I was a little disappointed that Sheamus didn't win and get the and get the kind of the push. But then at the same time, how can you sort of take it away from Cesaro as well? Because it takes 2 to tango, doesn't it? And both of them have just been ridiculous over the 7 matches. I mean, the only problem is that we're clearly going to get it again, aren't we? But
well, I
would imagine so. Anyway,
given the ending, Charles, how do you play it out forward? Do you have one more match? Do they both get a title shot? How would you play it out?
This isn't my idea, but I was reading stuff before.
God, be original, Jesus.
Like,
sorry, continue.
Okay. Well, no, I just saw somebody say like maybe this could force them into a tag team. Like obviously it's ended 3-0. They have a title shot. Whatever they do, just give them both a tag team title shot and force them to tag together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an option. I don't want that to happen.
We've had that so many times, haven't we? Of people being forced together and then eventually win. I think I'd rather probably see them both get a title shot, get put into, a triple threat for the US title or something like that,
The only problem I have with them being said they can have a title shot though is, neither of them are gonna win. Like, I can't see Sheamus or Cesaro winning the Universal title, and with Roman Reigns. Obviously, with the US title, like
spoiler alert.
Fucking hell, Charles.
I can't talk about it without saying.
Well, I just did.
Say it. Just a title shot.
But you know what I mean? Like with him, just I'll talk about it later when we talk about the match. But I just can't see either. Okay, carry on.
Sorry, what was you saying?
Huh? It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
You always do this to her, Michael. You're horrible.
I was only joking. Come on, Charles. What was you saying? Get it out. What was you saying?
It's gone now. Just carry on.
Oh no.
I echo the sentiment that she was about to make, in that it's very hard to see, if they were chucked into, like she says, they're not going to go into the Universal title. They're not going to say, right, you're now the number 1 contender to the Universal title.
Kevin Owens title.
Kevin Owens title, yeah. Is the US title's the only one? See, the US title's the only one they can go for unless they actually do go for the tag titles. And then I kind of agree with what Chelsea was going to say until you rudely spoiled her train of thought, that you can't see either of those beating Roman Reigns, for the US title. So what's the point, kind of thing?
So you can't see any of them getting a win?
Not at the moment, no. I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, speaking of people who also can't get a win, Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn. Again, another excellent match. I don't know how many times that Sami Zayn actually went for the Helluva Kick, but did he actually even get it in the match? Like, even for a 2 count? I don't think he did he?
No, I don't. No, I don't think he hit it all. To be fair.
Well, Sami Zayn still can't buy a win as Chris Jericho defeats him with a codebreaker for a clean victory. It was a great match though. There was a few timing errors. Zayn's dive through the ropes to the DDT, which we all marvel at, was very poor. I don't know. If Jericho was to blame on that one, like just not knowing how to take it properly. But yeah, it looked very well. It wasn't botched, but it didn't look as smooth as we would like it. Charles, your man Chris Jericho gets a win. Sami Zayn can't buy one.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the message in the group chat this morning, I was kind of pissed off to begin with, but then every time I see Chris Jericho in the ring, like even though it's against Sami Zayn, like I say it every week, but I'm absolutely loving Chris Jericho at the minute, and to be honest, I'm happy, and I don't think it's the end of the feud. It's definitely going to continue. So, but yeah, just Sami Zayn's the underdog from the underground. He's gonna get there eventually, I hope. But as for Chris Jericho winning, like, I'm absolutely fine with it, and that's just me being completely biased because I absolutely love him.
I do think this was one of Chris Jericho's best matches in a long time.
Like, it was really good, and the code breaker, like the end of the match, was absolutely amazing too.
Yeah, that's another move that can be fucking awful at times, but he lands it perfectly. I actually thought this match, when Sami Zayn kept going for the Helluva Kick and never getting it, I actually thought that maybe this could be that one match that he wins with the Blue Thunder Bomb.
No. That's dreaming big.
Yeah, I know. It's just such a pretty move, It's such a waste.
One day.
Yeah, but Chris Jericho gets another win. But Sami Zayn, man, he's another one. He's in there with Sheamus and Cesaro, I guess. Like, you just can't see him ever getting that win.
No, I really stand by saying like Sami Zayn really should have been drafted to SmackDown, like away from Kevin Owens, away from that sort of storyline, and done a lot better over in SmackDown, I think. Because where he is with Raw at the moment, I mean, I can see him having a little feud with Chris Jericho, but like, where does I can't see anywhere for him to go from there. Unless it is another Sami Zayn #1 contender for Kevin Owens' title at the next pay-per-view or something.
Steve, what are you going to do with Sami? You're the booker. What are you doing with him?
Booker T.
Why not? I've seen you do a spinner room.
I don't think you have. I really don't know. I mean, I'm personally growing quite tired of Sami Zayn now, which is a shame. It's just, I think he's just one of these that's been completely.
So clarify, not the in-ring stuff, just the.
Not his performance in the ring. He does. He's great in the ring. It's just the character and the way that they're really making him go to the bottom of the barrel to eventually get him to win the title or to win something. And
a match,
yeah. Like, I agree with what Chelsea's just said there. I don't even think it's to do with the Kevin Owens. I think SmackDown would have been, the way that they are over there, would have been better suited for Sami Zayn. To develop and get into get into something that over there, it would have seemed the more natural fit. I just don't see where he fits. I mean, it's like you've just said. It's the same with him as it is with Sheamus and Cesaro. I mean, do you see Sami Zayn beating Roman Reigns for the US title?
That would be a massive massive shock at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to go in the cruiserweights. You know, it's quite. That's the thing that I saw watching the match last night is watching their match straight after the cruiserweights was that he's huge in comparison. So there's no way that he's going to go down to that level. You wouldn't have thought. So he's stuck. He's stuck. He's in a bit of a quandary really at the moment. The only title he's going to be able to go for is the US one, but with Roman Reigns having that, you know, he's not going to beat him. You wouldn't have thought.
No, I wouldn't at this point. But then I wouldn't have thought Finn Balor would have beaten him either. So
no, but I think maybe that was more a bit of luck in the fact at what was going on with Roman Reigns at the time as well. It'd have been interesting to see whether that was the original plan before all the other stuff. You know, it was easy to do. It was easy to do that once Roman had kind of fallen out of favour with the world title scene. I just think they're gonna stick the US title on him for a while now, or try and stick it on him for a while, and while they do that, I think the likes of Cesaro and Sami Zayn and Sheamus they're all just going to be stuck fighting each other, but with actually nothing to go for.
Well, I guess we might as well talk about the Rusev Roman Reigns match now, since we're already there. I did not want Rusev to be losing this match.
I didn't think he was going to lose. I mean, I was quite shocked when Roman won the title. I didn't expect Rusev to win it clean or anything like that, but I certainly wasn't expecting him to lose the title, because again, like I've just been saying, it puts the US title on quite a strong guy, and it's like who is, apart from like when you look at maybe Rusev. Who's going to take the title off of Roman Reigns?
I think probably the idea, I don't know if you agree with this, Charles, is that you could probably have Sheamus go up against Reigns and even Jericho, and then Cesaro and Sami Zayn. Why not? And then Reigns is kept out of that picture for the Universal title picture for a while, and just kind of separate them. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Roman Reigns was going to win, and I'm fairly happy that he has. Like you say, it keeps him out of the main event picture and away from that. But I think it's quite quantitative. I mean, I'm not the biggest Roman Reigns fan, but I think with the push that Roman Reigns had over the last, like, however long it's been, I think putting the United States title on him that has been in that main event picture for so long, I think it's kind of raising up the bar a little bit again with the belt, like it did when John Cena had it.
He's no Cena.
No, he's definitely no Cena. But I just mean this guy was a person that won the heavyweight championship like 2 or 3 times in like the space of like a few months, and he's been in that picture. And I think now that he's got the United States belt on him, I think he's going to hold it for a while. And when the right person comes along to beat Roman Reigns, it's going to be a bigger deal, I think, than someone beating Rusev. I mean, I know Rusev's a really big guy and he's strong, but I just think for Roman Reigns to have it, who everybody knows to be like the company's top guy, I think that it's just going to elevate whoever takes it off him a bit more, and it is going to elevate that they might push this title a bit more because it is on Roman Reigns. And if they want to still push Roman, it's a very good opportunity for the belt to have that on him, because that title is going to get pushed again. Like, because after Cena lost it, the belt just fell from where it was, and I think it is a really good opportunity for the belt again.
Yes, because it went into Del Rio's hands, though.
Yeah. But that is just a man who was. I mean, have you guys seen his WCPW stuff?
Not yet, no.
No, well, just go watch his promo from the WCPW, and you will literally see that this guy actually has just been wrongfully booked the whole time in WWE, and he is so much better than you ever could have imagined. Like, WWE have ever let him be. I don't know whether you saw him in like Lucha Underground or anything like that.
Yeah, my problem isn't his ability. I understand he's got a lot of ability Just fuck Daria.
I know. I went off on a tangent. Like, I'm not a male. I'm pissed off with the whole Paige thing, but I don't hold much of a grudge with it as you guys.
No, I'm not even just on about Paige then. Just fuck Daria.
Okay.
Fuck Daria.
If you want to do that, feel free.
No, not. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Let's move on. Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley for the women's title in a triple threat match. Everyone got to show their stuff. Everyone got to use the finisher, and the third person was always there to save the day.
We'll see you all again next month.
Yes, pretty much. Dana Brooke got involved in the match on several occasions, taking out Banks, taking out Banks from a submission hold that she had them in, and also just taking Bayley out completely at ringside, throwing her into the barricade. But it was in fact Charlotte who picked up the victory with a kick to the face, just a nice simple kick to the face, and Bayley took the pinfall. So Charlotte is still your women's champ. Anyone got any opinions on this one?
I'm just glad that well, it sounds bad saying it. Like, I'm glad Bayley took the pin, but I'm glad that Sasha's still being kept strong. I really would have liked her to take the belt back, but I'm growing to really appreciate Charlotte. Like, her heel work is so good. So I can see why they are keeping the belt on her. But I think the only thing I just dislike is I feel really bad for Bayley. I mean, she's heading down the Sami Zayn route, I think. She's not getting very many wins, but at the same time, with her taking the pin, Sasha's still being kept strong, and like you just said, see you again next month sort of thing, because that is literally the women's division in one match.
Now, through how events played out during the end of the match, I think it's very clear the path this is going to take, and Stephen, disagree with me if you don't think it's going to go this way, that Bayley hit Banks off the ring apron and Bayley took the pinfall. In my eyes, Banks is going to be the one to take the belt off of Charlotte at some point. But since coming up, the Banks-Bayley head-to-head is just slowly being teased. That's the destination, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think at this point anybody's making anything different to that either. Like, whether it's, us talking about it or people, just the way that they're feeding us, what they're feeding us. That's definitely how I would see that it's going to play out. Does Bayley get the WrestleMania moment this year of winning the title at WrestleMania?
Bayley's entrance continues to make me smile. Seeing it at WrestleMania will be something else. How many little
it does make me smile. However, it completely annoys me that they can't, since she's come up to Raw, they can't get the car wash men, as you call them, to come out at the right time of the song.
What are those things called?
Floatable inflating men.
So, like,
excellent.
I don't know. It's like an episode.
No, floatable inflating men. That's it.
It's like an episode of Family Guy, I think it is. That I can't remember what they call it, but it just goes on forever. I think it's like wacky waving inflatable arm tube men or something like that.
I wasn't too far off.
The wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
It's like inflatable wacky waving tube man. I think they are. No, there we go. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Well, then, guys, they don't come out at the right time. They don't come up at the right time of the song anymore, and they had it perfect on NXT, and for some reason they can't do that right. However, I do agree, seeing that entrance at WrestleMania will be a joy to behold.
I know we're a long way, but over under 20. How many whackable inflatable arm flailing men are we doing?
I'll take the under on that, but 20 seems like a lot. I don't know. I'd be a bit terrified of that, I think.
I think there's like more and more every week. Like, I don't even know how many there were this time, but it just seems to grow by number. So,
Well,
but yeah,
let's-
by the time we get to WrestleMania, we're talking probably, triple digits.
Triple digits, Jesus.
Triple
I think it's
digits.
just imagine them like planted like in random spots in the crowd and stuff, and then it could like and all. Do you remember? I can't remember what WrestleMania it was, but when you had all those like John Cena lookalikes, like as John Cena came down wearing his hat and shirt, having like rows of them either side.
That is true. WrestleMania 33. Where's it going to be held? It's in Florida, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Florida.
Is it an outdoor arena?
I hope not. I really dislike it when they have it outdoors and it's still daylight. Like,
Yeah, I do
especially
too.
for like Undertaker matches and Bray Wyatt and stuff. It just loses it, I think, when it's still like middle of the day.
Oh, I'm sorry to tell you, Chelsea, it's in the Citrus Bowl, so it is open air.
Well,
But what that does mean is that we could have wacky inflatable arm flailing men
on the
all on the
top.
top of the arena.
Wow.
Just all around the top of it. How many are you thinking now, Stephen? Over under 20?
Well, I'm talking 4 digits now.
I think the best thing to come out of this conversation was the wacky flailing inflatable arm men. Let's get on to the final match of the evening. We had Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title. And as we spoiled previously, Kevin Owens is still your Universal Champion. It wasn't my favourite match of the night by a long way, but there was a lot of cool moments, a lot of controversial moments, I guess we'd have to talk about. Which side is Stephanie on? Who knows? It's still ambiguous as to who she's trying to help out there. But Jericho kind of he definitely made the save for the referee, for his best friend Kevin Owens, as Rollins had him down for a 20 count at one point after a really cool reversal of a powerbomb into a pedigree.
Yeah, it was good.
That was really cool. But yeah, we have Kevin Owens on top, still the champion. You know, the Hell in a Cell coming. Are we going to be getting Jericho into that mix? Because Jericho seems to be mixing it up there.
No, I mean I can't see Jericho being on the world title scene at this stage. I wouldn't have thought.
No, I don't want them to like break him and Kevin Owens up. So obviously, if they're going against each other, that's just going to turn. They're best friends.
Their relationship has lasted longer than AJ Styles and Jericho.
Yeah. So. But we haven't even got T-shirts for them yet. Like, what's up with that?
That's a very good point. I mean, we got T-shirts for Y2AJ immediately.
Yeah.
Like one show and they were there.
Although, to be fair, Chris Jericho with his like scarves that are getting thinner and thinner week by week. But like that Kevin Owens shirt is absolutely amazing. So seeing him coming out wear that and his skirt, he just looks so snobby, like a really posh French waiter or something.
He does. He's got that look going down, hasn't he? He's got it down. The reason I asked about the thing, it was something that I read on F4W Online's live results of it. That the original plan for Hell in a Cell was meant to be Jericho, Owens, and Finn Balor, and in essence, Seth Rollins is the one who's been subbing in for Balor. So that's the reason why I know, Charles, contain yourself. Yeah, Jericho, Owens, and Finn Balor. That was the original plan for Hell in a Cell. So.
Just going off tangent again, but just those three and then 2 more in an elimination chamber, and I don't know what I'd do to myself.
2 more, you say? 2 more?
Yeah.
Cesaro and Sheamus. There you go. They need a match.
Oh,
that's sorry.
Make it better. I'm talking like Sami Zayn and Triple H.
Oh, I thought you was going to go with Triple H and Mr. Glorious himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, wow.
Done and done?
Absolutely.
Stephen, Stephanie McMahon sent the referee down. Didn't really get involved, but in a way ended up helping Owens. But was she trying to help Owens?
I think the look that she gave was quite telling. I do think it's going to kind of probably play out that way that she's that now. I think the story is definitely sort of Seth versus her kind of thing. Um, I do
Leading up
maintain,
to a Triple H Seth match.
yeah. I do maintain that at the beginning of this, she didn't have any clue about any of this. But like we said on last week's pod, maybe that's just because she sold it so well.
Is this going to be her? It was me, Austin. It was me
Yeah,
all along.
yeah, it could very well be. If she does it in that voice, then I'll be happy. Um, it was just like you said, it was just one of these matches where, and the ending was kind of, it was just something to push it on and a little bit more to get, nothing kind of closed off. I think everything's still going to be ongoing. Um, it'll be interesting to see tonight on Raw what they do sort of next, because you would kind of, the way that it did finish, you kind of can see that obviously Seth's going to move on to like Steph, Triple H, or whoever it is, so we probably have got a slot there for a number one contender, you would have thought. I don't think it's necessarily going to be Seth going up against him again at Hell in a Cell.
No. The only reason why I would think it is because of the way it ended. But,
Yeah, that's true.
Again,
Foley has been pretty thingy on giving everybody the shot if they've not done it, and if something's been spoiled, they've kind of got another opportunity to do so. So I suppose that might be the case that we do see him have that, but I would expect if that is the case at the next one, that's when we will see that maybe Triple H interference or something like that to sort of then start the whole feud between Rollins and Triple H, I think.
There is one other note to be made. There was a top rope gut buster. Kevin Owens delivering to Seth Rollins, and it's reported that Seth Rollins legit got injured on that move.
Well, I'm not surprised.
He had trouble breathing backstage, and some speculate that he may have broken some ribs.
Well, yeah. He did land on his side, didn't he? Right on. I'm not surprised.
He was going to get injured.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long broken ribs can keep you out of. These wrestlers seem to recover really quickly anyway from these kind of things. So I don't think it'd keep him out in any great length of time if he has suffered some broken ribs. But so that's a note to be said at least. There's only one question now we've learned everything that's happened. There's only one thing that I really want to know is with Monday Night Football and the first presidential debate in America, all scheduled for the same time as Raw, and Raw being on a hell of a slide in the ratings. Are we going to get any kind of fireworks in tonight's Raw show?
Well, just as you were talking about that, I've literally just been to WWE's Twitter because I was thinking about that just to see if they'd. So I think we were saying like they need to announce it beforehand to get those viewers in.
I did say that, yeah.
They've announced nothing. And they usually have by this sort of point. So I'm really not. They'd be idiots not to do something because, like you say, like tonight is on schedule to be like the worst rated Raw in like 23 years. So I really hope that they do something to get these viewers in, and it isn't just a bog standard episode. But like you say, they need to announce something beforehand, or else people are just obviously. Hopefully, people are a bit more interested in the state of their country than they are WWE. But I don't know. They need to come out there and do something.
But what? What are they going to do? What's your guess?
No idea. Triple H. Give me Triple H. Give me. I can't even think of anything that they could do. That's how much of a mind-boggler. Just Triple H. That's my guess.
At this moment, Triple H is the only one that would kind of do anything like that. There's nothing in any of the storylines at the moment that would suggest, that could bring anything of note to compete with what else is going on, or to bring viewers in. I think a Triple H sort of sighting is kind of the only thing that would work. But in terms of where the story is at the moment, I think that's probably a little too early. So I'm not at this time. If I would be I'm certain that we're going to see a bit of a damp squid tonight when it comes to Raw.
Well, yeah. Sadly, that's probably going to be the case. I don't think there's going to be much of a fallout from this show. We might just think, let's just wash our hands with it and get on. We'll set a new law. The love records. Let's set a new law.
With Hell in the Cell coming and 2K17 coming out soon, could we see a Brock Lesnar sighting maybe?
Maybe, I don't know. For the belt?
Yeah. I don't know.
No. I mean, Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar would be awesome, but
I think I did read something actually on Reddit, like in the past couple of weeks, that it was rumored that Hell in a Cell or Survivor Series, or something, it might have even been Survivor Series, that we were going to get Brock versus Kevin Owens.
That would be freaking sweet. But I mean, I don't know if I see that actually happening. Brock Lesnar did have a rematch with Randy Orton over the weekend, though.
Did it?
In a Chicago live event.
Oh yeah, of course. How did that go down?
I don't know if the match actually started. I saw a video of the Randy Orton's music was playing, and he came out and attacked him with a chair. Brock Lesnar then went on the attack and was about to F5 him onto the chair, but actually got RKO'd onto it instead.
All right, okay.
I don't know how it ends after that, but that's how it was playing out to begin with. But yeah.
Well, if that's still going on, I don't think Brock's going to be involved in any kind of title match, is he?
Favourite spot of the night before we get out of here, Chelsea? What was your favourite part? Spot, move, favourite spot of the night?
TJ Perkins' entrance, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Steve?
Yeah, I think TJ Perkins' entrance does take it, but only just over the whichever announcer it was on the at ringside who leapt over the barriers when when he started removing the table to put him through.
It was one of the Spanish, yeah. It was
the Spanish one, yeah. Who just proper sold the fact that he was going through this table. He leapt over it. That was my second favourite bit.
You won't see Michael Cole doing that.
No.
My favourite bit was Cesaro's 619.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Forgot about that.
Why on earth did he pull out a 619? But yeah, that was fun. No, it was the slowest and most cumbersome 6'9" I've ever seen. But he is 6'7". No, he's not. He's like 6'2", and Rey Mysterio is under 6 foot. Yeah, that was my favourite thing of the I think. Right, catch us on Wednesday night for our usual SmackDown and Raw recap, and yet another pay-per-view prediction show.
No, we've got a week. We have got a week.
Goodness, yeah. Thank God for that.
Yeah,
I thought it was next weekend, man.
No, I said that last week, but it's not. We've got another week. We're basically on looking at it. We're on 2 weeks. We're on 2 week schedules here. You know, we've got 2 weeks after that. We've got Hell in a Cell. So yeah.
Is Hell in a Cell a joint, or is it Raw only?
Raw only.
I think Survivor Series, the one after that, is a joint one.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just going to be the 4 that's joined. So SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania.
Although I am really excited, it's only like 3 or 4 months until the Rumble again.
Yeah? Oh man, I love the Rumble so much. Who's going to return? We'll get into that much closer to the time.
In like 3 months' time.
Far too early to be doing that. Now, Chelsea, where can people find you?
Fight Chelsea Fight on Twitter.
Stephen, where can they find you?
I've given up. I'm just not aware now.
At Russ Poynton?
At Oliver James.
At Oliver James, yeah. Let's get Ollie Duo going. You can get me at Django Bob 96. You can contact all of us if you want to at Out of Nowhere Pod on Twitter. This has been the Out of Nowhere podcast. Peace.